Hey guys, welcome to another recap of Big Brother 14. The game just started tonight. Last time, Dan and Danielle were up on the block from Frank, and Ian had won the power veto, and that freaking veto was burning a hole in his pocket. Like the 14-year-old just got his allowance and he can't wait to spend it.
I like to play with the veto.
Alright, so the Quack Pack has got a veto plan to get Dan and Danielle safe. They're going to win the second veto, anyone except Dan, well, from the Quack Pack. And they will remove both Dan and Danielle and then control the votes to get off who they want. So, it's time to pick players for the veto! Ian can't play because he already won a veto this week. So, Frank picks Shane, Danielle picks Brittany, Dan got house guest choice, and he chose Jen. So Dan, in order for this plan to work, has to throw it. But he's not going to throw it. Jen made an alliance with Frank right before the competition, and the host is Ian. I thought I'll just throw that on. Alright, so let's talk about the veto competition. They didn't waste any time tonight because there was so much good stuff. Was this not a crazy Power Pack show?
It was.
It was insane! I was sitting, even though I knew what had happened, there's nothing like seeing how it actually plays out. Alright, so the veto competition was a total product placement for the app Draw Something. So they basically had the game, Draw Something, and each word was a clue to a punishment. So in order to get the points for the one that you guessed, you had to do the punishment, which really sucked because some of them were really pretty bad.
Some of them were gross.
So, yeah, Homer's over here. He really wants to be on the show, but...
No. You stink.
All right. Dan, like I said, Dan's plan was, I'm not going to throw it. I don't trust anyone, not even myself. So... first punishment was Frank dyeing himself green like an avocado to get the points.
Not such a big deal.
That's not so bad. Then Jen had 90 seconds to burn her clothes. She probably would have anyway. Brittany ends up getting shackled to Danielle for 24 hours. That's a pretty big punishment. Because, I mean, you still have to, like, go to the bathroom and everything. At least it wasn't to another guy. Or to a guy.
Kind of why she chose her.
Not that Brittany's a guy. All right, Frank and his chum showers when the alarm goes off for 24 hours. He had to put that in his face. That was disgusting. Ugh.
I don't know. I didn't hear them say you had to put it in your face.
Like, maybe he just wanted to.
I think he just liked it.
Maybe. Then he had to wear a carrot suit, and he's got to do this for a whole week after he had already had the cheer tard, the spirit tard. It is a long time. Then... the ultimate one for Frank, he has to sit out for the next 2 HOH comps. 2? Well, because he is the HOH this week, so he's not eligible. And then next week he's got to sit that out because it said the first one that you're eligible for. Yeah. Danielle, she had to get splattered with paint for 2 minutes. And I'm pretty sure that she got sick as a result of this. I think she might have actually gotten an ear infection and a skin rash from the paint. Did you get the friggin' paint from China or what? Come on, big brother.
I'll betcha.
Exactly. Dan, he won a 24-hour trip to Solitary Dance Party. You would have gone insane. He can't even sleep if somebody's breathing in the room. Imagine him in Solitary Dance Party. You would have killed someone.
Could be.
All right. Frank got disqualified for cheating on the supposed last clue because Brittany rang in, but he said the answer to her. So he got freaking disqualified. It's sick.
That was dumb.
That was really dumb. Appreciate. Alright, so Jen won, she won the final clue, which won her the whole thing. If she took it, she won the veto. If she didn't take it, she would have sent it to Dan. So she was really determined to play for her boy Frank. So she had to take a slop pass for the rest of the summer. I mean a slop ticket. So she had to eat slop for the rest of the summer. That sucks.
How much longer?
A few more weeks. All right, so after the veto competition, Frank and Jen are on board to take out Dan. And Dan is a total crybaby at this point. He has hit rock bottom. If he was in AA, he had to believe in a higher power at this point because he can't go any lower than this. He knows he's going home. But he's got 24 hours in the solitary think tank to formulate a plan to save his arse. Alright, so Danielle and Brittany tied together for 24 hours. Not so fun. Not fun at all. Frank and his chum baths. Not so fun.
I think the worst part is just getting up in the middle of the night and doing that.
Probably. So, let's regroup here. Dan comes out of solitary, and he is zombie-like. I mean, seriously, they're all like, oh, he's so weird. If you had been in solitary confinement listening to, like, rave music for the past 24 hours, and it was pretty stinky in there, too, because I'm sure all he had was a camp toilet.
Oh.
Come on, and he didn't shower.
They made a point of saying how bad.
And I think he had to eat slop, so he was probably like farting like crazy in there.
I don't want to hear that.
Sorry. I had to go there. I had to, make the atmosphere. All right, so Dan calls a house meeting. He's like, Brittany, can I want to call a house meeting? And it's Dan's big brother funeral. There was not a dry effing eye in the house. He kissed everyone's ass big time. Jen, you're my first lesbian. Come on. There was not a dry eye in the house. So then he saved the best for last. When he got to Danielle, he said, you're not who I thought you were. You're dead to me now in the game. And she was like, what? Oh my God, y'all. Dan just put me, oh no. Dan didn't do it. He just told me that I was dead to him. What's going on, Dan? I didn't do anything. Shane, can we go lay down together? I feel faint. Can we talk? I need to cry. Come on, let's go lay down. Just you and me. Come on. All right, so after Dan's funeral, he runs upstairs before anybody else can say anything with Frank and talks to him in the HOH room. And he totally spills the beans on Ian and the whole quack pack. It was sick. I couldn't believe I was seeing Dan do this.
It's quite a plan.
It was I'm just like so verklempt. Don't go after Ian, he said. Take out Brittany. She's the bigger threat. And I almost crapped in my pants when he said that. I could not believe it. I thought those two were working together till the end, but apparently not. No. So Dan and Frank make a final 2 deal between the two of them. It's boys club. And Dan says, let's pull in Jen City and Danielle. So Frank then tells Jen to use the veto on Dan. And she's just like, what? Yeah, he fills her in and she's on board. So it's time for the veto. And Ian, since he won his veto first, he's got to decide to use his first or not. And he decides not to use it. And then Jen stands up and is like, yeah, I'm using the veto. And immediately you're like, what? Everybody in the house was like, what?
Nobody expected it.
No, not at all, because they unbelievably kept it a secret, before the veto meeting.
There was some good acting.
There was amazing acting going on there. Academy Awards all around, kids. So Frank puts Brittany on the block, and the way he did it was insane. It was, you thought he was going to put up Ian, but then he's like, no, I'm putting up your ally, Brittany. Now pop a squat. And he was just like, oh, no, you didn't. And he was like, mm-hmm. All right, so it's the holy crap recap time. Jen's actually a player. She was born tonight. Brittany's done for. She's going bye-bye. And Dan is a genius. Now, Ian thinks he's all fired up. Well, we'll just have to see what happens next week. But tomorrow is the big elimination show. Oh my God. It's going to be great. Julie's going to be all like, all right. But first, no, just kidding. All right, so till tomorrow night, Much love.